brother, what is going on here? There's some people that are just completely misinterpreting the video about Absol and academics. The whole point that I was trying to make was that bringing a gun to a slapbox event really kills the vibe. Okay, that was the entire point. And man, I've learned my lesson when it comes to held for review comments. Initially, I didn't have held for review turned on, and that's because certain comments, if you don't know, there's a feature you can turn on where certain comments get held for review, right? Because they're potentially offensive. Now, before you turn on, like, at least for me, before I turned on the held for review, if I got an offensive comment, it just simply didn't show up. The held for review section allowed me to at least see the comments, because approving the comments doesn't do anything, which makes sense because if somebody's like, kill yourself, white devil, in a comment, it doesn't really matter if I approve it. It's going to be hidden. But the amount of times that I approve a comment getting ready to just like reply and I just can, like, I approve it and then the comment just disappears from the face of the earth forever, is too high. But I get it. You know, you can't be saying kill yourself, white devil to people. It is what it is, right? But this academics thing, because that's what this is all about. And by the way, I got in trouble on Reddit for that. And I didn't even say anything crazy. I got a 3-day temporary suspension because I agreed with Absol's sentiment of slapping the shit out of academics. It really is not, it's not complicated. And they do give you the option to appeal it. I did, but all I did was type in bruh. And I was kind of hoping that the person that potentially looks at the appeal would be like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, they'd see the bruh and then they'd see the comment and question that I left. Just kind of agree with the sentiment. Not saying anything crazy that they would approve it, but they didn't. But it is what it is. It's just a 3-day suspension. I can still scroll, you know what I mean, during those bathroom visits. So I still have that entertainment, you know what I mean? But this academics thing, right? In case you didn't know, academics was listening to some Absol, and there was a certain section, certain line where Absol's like, hey, I'm going to slap the shit out of academics when I see him. And academics immediately killed the vibe, bro. Like, he didn't go, sure, like, I'm going to slap the shit out of you. Like, it wasn't a mutual thing. It was like, if you come at me, I'm going to kill you. He didn't sound that insecure, but a lot of these dudes that have security, they're not going to sound insecure because they have security. I don't know if you know about that Jack, whatever his name is. He's like a prank YouTuber. He hires security to follow him around while he messes with people. He would never act that way if he didn't pay for security. That's like the whole reason he does it, because he knows, like, I can keep messing with these people and this person I hired is going to defend me. Now, one day, a lot of people have kind of hinted that one day that security guard might just kind of decide that they no longer want to protect this piece of shit. Specifically talking about that Jack. I think it's Doherty. What, I don't know what it is. It starts with a D. Doherty, whatever. That kid. But I also kind of believe a lot of those videos are fake. But it is what it is. Academics is kind of in a similar situation. Now, it makes sense for academics to have security. You know, he's famous, and that's really all it takes. I don't have any issues with you having security if you are a celebrity. That was never the point. It mainly has to do with, like, this was about getting slapped in the face, and you immediately jump to, like, you're gonna die if you come at me. It kills the, like, I've been in a fair amount of slap boxing events. We'll say it like that. Especially when I was in high school. I used to slap box all the time in high school with friends, family, sometimes, and sometimes people I didn't like. Now, imagine if I had been building up, like, getting hype, like, oh man, I just really have wanted to slap the shit out of this dude in my one class. And then finally lunch hits, and it's like, all right, now's the time. Now's the time. And then I go out there and he pulls out a gun on me. Bro, what is wrong with you? We're not, well, I can't say that in my situation, we were two adults because we were in high school. But, like, that's the thing. Like, we were kids and even we understood how to handle things like men. You didn't do all this extra shit. I realized that, like, one dude in the comments pointed out that I was white. That's a great observation, brother. I'm proud of you for piecing it together. I realize, I don't really go for, like, an intimidating look. Like, if you kind of look at the background, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's up with the cat? I'm wearing a Dragon Ball Z shirt. But I'm telling you right now, I can bench more than academics ever will be able to bench, right? He's going to have to start juicing if he wants to have a higher bench than me, okay? I got a sleeper build when it comes to that bench press, buddy. I love that bench press more than I love anything else. I should be doing squats, but I love that bench press. That caveman brain just kicks in. You hit a new PR. But I don't. The whole point isn't to try to come across as tough. That's not the point of slapping the shit out of body out of somebody, right? It's just, man, it really kills my vibe. And there was one guy, he left a comment, and it was sent to the Held for Review. Talked about the Held for Review. I've learned my lesson. No longer approve it. Just let it sit there so that I can still see it, and maybe I can make a video about it. But at least have the example. But at the beginning of the comment, he did point out that I was a white boy a lot. I'm not sure if that's why YouTube was like, this is an insensitive comment, but it is what it is. But at the beginning, he's like, bro, you would hire security, white bitch, or something like that. He didn't call me a white bitch. It didn't even really seem too mean the way he worded it, but he basically said like, hey, you would be hiring security if you were in that situation. Don't try to pretend like you're not. Don't try to pretend like you're a tough guy. But then at the end of the comment, he was like, actually, it's smart for academics to hire security. He's doing it the legal way. So it's like, how does it work out that like if one person hires security, they're a bitch, but if another person hires security, they're actually kind of smart? It doesn't make any sense. Either everyone's a bitch or no one's a bitch in this situation. And it's not necessarily about, like I said, it's not about being tough. It's not about having security or not having security. It's about like somebody said that they want to slap you and you were like, oh, I'll kill you. Hey, let's relax, brother. Let's relax. I've seen a lot of shit in my childhood. Seen people die. Seen a lot of people just completely destroy their lives with drugs. And I got to thinking, like what was Akademiks' childhood like? Like, was he spoiled? Because a lot of the, it's like that Jack kid, man. Like a lot of these dudes, they act a certain way because they were spoiled as kids. But I looked and I found out that he was from Jamaica. They didn't have a lot of money. And he had issues with his dad because his dad was having extramarital affairs and stuff like that. And he wasn't around the family enough. And I was like, damn, dude, I can relate. My dad was a piece of shit too. He spent a lot of time in prison, And he wasn't around, mainly because of the prison thing, but also because he was just like overall just kind of a bad person. And I've forgiven my father in the same way that Akademiks has forgiven his father, according to Wikipedia. I don't know how much that can be trusted. But it seems like we came out with two different approaches to life. Like he didn't like what his dad did, and I didn't like what my dad did. But I saw my dad as like the perfect example of what not to be. Like if he's not going to be a good father figure, then I'm going to use him as an example of what not to do. You don't need to have a handful of baby mamas. I don't need 20 siblings that I'll never meet. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to steal things from people so that you can get whatever drugs you happen to need at the time. Luckily, my dad never got into meth or anything like that. Just the cool shit like cocaine. But still, like you don't need to do these things. It doesn't make you a man. That's the way I viewed it. Man is taking care of your family. Man is not being a detriment to the people around you. And even, not even just the people around you, but to people in general. It's about not being a detriment. That's the way I took it. So I don't really understand why Akademiks behaves the way that he does. Because he doesn't really strike me as the kind of guy that saw his dad have extramarital affairs and just kind of not be around. He doesn't strike me as the guy that saw that and thought, I don't like that. I'm not going to do that. He kind of seems like he's just kind of the same. Like he's the prize. I don't know, man. I don't know. The point was, Akademiks could use a slap, and it's really not. It's not super complicated. You don't have to point out that I'm white. I'm aware, brother. I'm aware. I don't know what you are. The person that commented that, of course, they did not have a picture of themselves. That's usually how it is. I've noticed there's like a rise in white kids calling other people white, which I think is funny. But they can do that because they don't show their profile pictures. Like the amount of people I've seen on Reddit and Twitter that get caught pretending to be black, and then people find out they're white is way high. I can never get away with that because I actually put my face out there for the world to see. But that's because I don't have anything to worry about. I don't threaten people like that. I grew up around some very sketchy people. And in certain circumstances, you don't yap off like that. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I just feel like there's a real disconnect here. Like you can point out that I'm white and that like like intimidating wise, like it's just not happening. Sleeper build or not, whatever whatever my personal bench PR might be. Look, he's got cat shit in the back. Like, what is this? We're supposed to be intimidated? No, that's not the point. You're not supposed to be intimidated. This is about getting the shit slapped out of you, which you can retaliate by slapping the shit out of the other person. Whatever happened to good old fashioned slap boxing? Why do we have to involve guns? It's lame.